Hi, I'm Sarah Whitney, and as director of this project, the overall idea is to expose the dangers of turning your child's life into a source of entertainment for anyone to access. Dance Moms and other reality TV shows originally mainstreamed accessible and constant content of children. The rising popularity in family and mommy vloggers is just a new twist on a show my generation grew up consuming. And as adults coming into society, we have to be conscious about what we consume. And by using dance, it gives us a mode of communication with the audience to have a conversation about protecting children from being abused and having their lives broadcasted. It's relevant now with more family and children based content becoming popular online, and it's important we readdress the guidelines for protecting children. Just like how young actors earning needed to be protected by the 1939 Coogan Act. Now that California is working on enacting similar laws for children and family content, there's been a mass exodus of families from California, which exposes their behavior to exploit their children. Not to mention that a lot of the content that family vloggers provide can be catered to predators, and the kids are our future and they deserve rights and protections from adults who are using them. I wanted dance to be the focal point of our production because we're framing this message around dance moms, and we're exposing the effects of child stardom and the pressures that are placed on children. They'll be framed in dark colors and include mature elements, because that is the truth that many of these children have or are currently facing.
Hello, I was the producer for the Cudjoe Fan Club Dance Moms project, and this is a little bit about my process. I was in charge of choosing the show for our season, deciding our general overall budget, designing the schedule, hiring the crew and the dancers, negotiating all of their contracts, booking the theater, and just making sure that everybody stayed within the timeline of the schedule overall. Once I had everyone hired, I called a meeting for everybody who was involved in the production, telling them a little bit about what kind of vision we wanted for this based on our company's goals, and then giving them a general schedule of what it would be like and the budget. We had a budget of about $60,000 for this project, and we knew we wanted to hire a cast size of about 15 people. So this is a breakdown of a little bit about what that budget looked like. I had to make sure that I was paying all of the lighting designers, the set designers, the directors, choreographers, costumers, as well as the dancers, and making sure that we were paying for the space and such. So overall, it ended up costing about $58,000 for the project.
Hello, I'm Connor Sallee, the lighting designer for the dance show Dance Moms and Exploration of Child Exploitation. As you can see on screen here, this is the mood board that I came up with for this show. The top left showcasing a simple Google search took of Dance Moms, of like all the various like highs and lows of both from the children's perspective of being devastated and sad, and the parents, mothers being super angry. On the bottom left, I have two prominent JoJo Siwa on the left, and then Tate McRae on the right, being two prominent graduates of the Dance Moms show, both becoming celebrities in the current area. And on the right, I have a couple of looks that I'd like to showcase, specifically as I want this show to have a lot of modeling from side angles. And on the bottom right is my color palette that I plan to use the red to accents the harsh things, and the blue and pink to highlight the pros that came from stardom and fame. On the next slide is a few mock-ups I decided to create. They're very rough as I was limited by software, but these are kind of the looks, and as you can see how I want the light to shine on dancers at various parts of the stage. And then one like design element I'd like to really highlight is the brick wall gobos that I've selected. I really want the dancers to feel imprisoned by their fame and everything they go through. So I'd like that to be there through the whole showcase. And I think another fun element would be to never have the light ever be off of a dancer, that anytime they are present to the audience, they are under the spotlight. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Josephine Sample, and I am the choreographer for our show called Dance Moms, a dance-based exploration of child exploitation. There will be 4 pieces in total. Each piece will be performed to instrumental music. For the first piece, I wanted to explore the concept of what happens after the spotlight fades and what truly happens behind the scenes. The movement quality for this piece will be very slow and exaggerated. It will also be a solo. For the second piece, I wanted to explore the idea of being treated like a product rather than a human being. The movement quality for this piece will be very doll-like and like sharp. This will be a duet. For the third piece, I decided to incorporate the concept of how sexualized some of these kids were at such a young age. It will expose the truth behind some of these things that were put on live television at the time. The movement for this piece will be very spontaneous, but also sharp. This will be a trio. For the final piece, this will go over all the topics of the previous pieces. It will be a group piece and will incorporate something from every other piece. So yeah.